My name is Dr. Iryna Kasi. I'm the director of the specialist program in school psychology, and I have been with NOAR for a little bit over 3 years now. In the past, I worked as a school psychologist in one of the local school districts here in South Florida, and I had some experience working in private practice prior to the school responsibilities. In terms of why I chose school psychology, I always joke that school psychology chose me, and I didn't choose school psychology. I was a fresh, new teacher out of school, and I struggled a little bit in terms of um, supporting the kids in the way that I thought was meaningful, particularly more of their mental health needs, their behavior needs. I didn't have the vocabulary at that time to name what it is, but I knew something was not right. I knew that as a teacher, I was not giving my kids enough what I needed to do. And it just happened to be that I stumbled upon school psychologists who were very supportive in terms of kind of guiding me through the process. They were not even school psychologists in the schools where I was working. They were far, far away, but they introduced me to this wonderful field of school psychology. And I say this because my story is not unique. I think a lot of people that come to our programs are not necessarily the ones that they say, I wanted to be a school psychologist all my life. A lot of them have the passion for working with kids, for helping families, for supporting teachers, and a lot of them want to work in the school system. They just don't necessarily know that the field of school psychology or the profession of school psychology exists. And so sometimes it's a pleasure and it's an honor to be able to introduce this beautiful profession to our applicants and have the conversation. And in all honesty, I haven't yet met a single school psychologist who regretted that they made this professional choice.
What is the school psychology specialist program?
So the specialist degree is the entry degree to be able to work as a school psychologist in the school system or even outside of the school system. One of the things we're proud of here at NSU is that we have approvals and accreditation from several agencies that sort of put their stamp of approval in terms of the quality of preparation. You know, it's not an easy process to go through accreditations and approvals, and it takes a lot of time and effort, but I think it's really worth having those because it really ensures that our students who graduate receive not only comprehensive training, but really quality training that has been approved by these agencies. In addition, just to talking about the quality of the training, a lot of these approvals open many doors for our graduates. They're able to receive licensure or certification almost immediately after upon the graduation. So the small thing they can do is just fill out the paperwork and they are able to receive their certification or a licensure to be able to work in a private practice here. So that it really eases sort of the process for the graduates where they don't have to gather a million of documents to be able to again prove that they are qualified to do certain things. With a specialist degree in the school psychology, individuals can work in school system or they can work outside of the school system. Especially in the state of Florida, we have a privilege of having a licensure at the level of specialist, where individuals can get licensed as school psychologists and they can work not only in schools but they can also work outside of schools. A lot of the times we have our graduates working in a community settings and clinics. They can work in private practice. Some of them even work in the hospital. So it really provides a broad array of employment opportunities for our individuals. Not to say that there is a huge shortage of school psychologists, and wherever you turn, there's really a need for hiring a good quality school psychologist. So we have two formats for completing the specialist program at Nova Southeastern University. I think first I want to talk about our traditional format in person that we've had for many, many years. It's out of main campus, Fort Lauderdale campus. The program is 3 years long, 2 years of coursework and 1 year of internship. So the students who are accepted into this program, the start of the program is usually fall semester. So they complete 2 years of classes and then they apply to districts all over the state, sometimes even all over the country, all over the nation to get their internship placement. If they complete everything successfully, they get their degree in 3 years. But we're also excited to announce our new format this year, which is going to be online format. One of the reasons why we decided to go with this format is um, out of necessity. Really, there's a huge shortage of school psychologists in the nation. There's a need, more and more school districts every year seeking or opening positions for school psychologists, and they're just not able to hire enough because there's such a huge need for our profession in the schools. However, sometimes the education is not as accessible. What we've learned through the years of kind of training our students, and we've always focused a lot on working professionals, we realized that we need to be more flexible and more accessible, particularly for the working professionals. We get a lot of graduates or a lot of applicants who are teachers, who are behavior specialists, who have degrees in criminal justice and worked in the community providing services for kids. But they often realize, I want to do something different. I want to do something more. Maybe I want a job that's similar to what I've been doing in terms of helping kids, but I want a little bit more flexibility, or I want a little bit more skill. And so oftentimes these are the individuals that choose school psychology, but they can also not leave their full-time jobs. And so the online program, when we created, was with the intent to allow that accessibility for those working individuals who are not within the driving distance to campus. Sometimes, and we've had inquiries from people, 2-3 hours away from campus, and unfortunately it's too much of the commute, right? And so this program is going to have the same rigor and a very similar structure to what the traditional program is. It's going to be 4 years instead of 3, again, to allow a little bit more flexibility for the working professionals. 3-year program is a little bit more intense, and a lot of individuals who take a 3-year program in person are working only part-time. So just to help individuals balance their lives, their working responsibilities, and the graduate school, we thought the 4-year program would be the best. And again, 3 years of classes and 1 year of paid internship. A lot of our courses are taught at night or during the weekends. They're all synchronous, meaning students will be meeting in real life with their instructors, with their professors for classes. For us, it's very important. We do want to maintain that connection with the students. I think the in-person program, one of the strengths is that we try to build a sense of community around our students, because graduate school can be tough sometimes, and so having the support of your peers and having the support of the faculty and having the guidance of the faculty to kind of navigate your professional development is important, and we want to translate the same thing to the online program. Sometimes computer can be that barrier, that screen between you and the student, and we really want to try hard to kind of break that barrier and build the relationships that are meaningful and that really benefit our students. So by the time they graduate, they feel as prepared as they can be to take on the jobs and to serve the kids in their communities to the best of their abilities. So I'm biased when I talk about school psychology. Like I said, school psychology chose me, and I could never be happier about this, the way the life worked out for me. But I think the professional school psychology has a lot of benefits. I think for me personally, and for a lot of students that we see, it's the comprehensiveness of the training and the variety of roles that school psychologists take in the school system. Your single day never looks the same. What you do on Monday is not going to be the same what you do on Tuesday. It's not going to be the same what you do on Wednesday, and it's not going to be the same what you do next week. It's always, the day kind of evolves and changes, and a lot of people like that. There's an ability to sort of build up the way you want to do the services. Of course, you oftentimes work with the guidelines of the school district and the policies and procedures, but because we're trained to do so many things, school psychologists can go from providing assessment services for children and helping identify kids that may need more specialized services, to providing direct interventions. If the kid is struggling with reading difficulties or the kid has behavior difficulties, we can sit down with the child or with the family one-on-one and teach them some of the skills that they need or some of the skills that they lack. We can provide consultation services. So these are more sort of indirect when we work with the teachers or the school staff or even families to kind of guide them in ways how they can support the kids. We can, there's a lot of collaboration in the field of school psychology. So oftentimes we're part of the school-based meetings where, with administration, with the teachers, with the support staff to try to devise a plan that best fits the kids. And I think in all that, the beauty of that, this profession is meaningful. You go to work and every day you have an opportunity to change someone else's life. I don't think a lot of profession can say that for themselves. And it's kind of hard not to love that. And, and I'm not saying changing somebody's life radically, but even giving a little bit of guidance and helping kids or helping parents, children, to see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, or give them guidance on how they can support their kids. That's priceless, to be honest with you. That's and you may not often hear about the good that school psychologists do, but even if you hear it once in a while, it makes it all worth it. I think in the very short time that I've been with NSU, I came to love the program. And I think to me, the biggest asset of the program is our students. Hands down, it's our students. We have incredible student body, involved, motivated, eager to change the world, eager to go to schools and provide services. And oftentimes we receive very good feedback from stakeholders from the school districts who hire our graduates in terms of the quality of the preparation of the program. So I think that's a huge and the biggest asset of the program. And I think for somebody coming into the program, it's nice to have that sense of family or a sense of community. We try really hard to build that within our student body. So we have an excellent, in my opinion, mentorship program where older, more advanced students are mentoring younger students who are coming into the program. Helping them with small things like moving into the new area, adjusting to the graduate school, understanding which textbooks they need to buy, and how they need to handle some of their assignments. We also have a great support from the faculty. I think we value that mentorship. And our students are assigned faculty mentors in their first semester in the program here, with whom they continue their relationship all the way throughout. Again, more for the purposes of finding their own kind of pathway through the field of school psychology, because it's so diverse and it can be so unique for different individuals. And I think NSU strengths that it provides all kinds of opportunities. Whether you want to go a little bit more of a route of a school providing school-based services, you can do that. You want to do a little bit of work with the trauma, you can do that. You have, you're interested in suicide prevention, we have excellent faculty that have expertise in this, and you can do this. So there's a lot of opportunity to, within what's sequential and what's prescribed sort of within the program, to make it still your own, to follow your passion, to follow your interest, and really develop that sense of expertise even while you're in a graduate program. I think faculty is definitely our second huge asset. We have relatively big number of faculty for the number of students that we have, who are committed, who are knowledgeable, who are not only national but international experts in many of the topics, who are at the same time very humble and very responsive. I've been blessed to work with wonderful individuals in the school district and in the private practice, but this is my home. I treat my colleagues almost as my family. They're always there to help me. I know they're always there to support the students. I know they always have the best interests of the students in their heart, not only on the paper, and I think it shows. It shows because our students, I think, generally feel supported and feel connected, and having the guidance of somebody who's been in the field for so long really makes a big difference for the students. I think I'm proud to say that we are now more accessible. I really hope that with this online program we can reach out to more individuals, particularly maybe even from the rural school districts or from the rural areas who in the past have not been able to commute to Davie campus, but do have this passion and do have this interest in serving kids and the role of school psychologists. I'm honestly eager to learn from their experiences. We generally don't get a lot of students from the rural districts, but we value this diversity. We have a diverse student body, you name it, whether it's ethnic diversity, religious diversity, all kinds, if it's diversity of thought, we have it here. And it's just so beautiful to see people coming from different walks of life, and not only kind of digesting the information that part of the curriculum, but really contributing and enhancing it through their life experiences, and adding to that, their own sort of lens or their own perspective to what is being taught in a school. Students learn from us, but we learn from the students as probably as much as they learn from us. And I think that's what really makes this profession so wonderful. It's collaborative, it's motivating, it's stimulating, and it continues to be for the rest of your life.